Hello my fellow mayors and welcome once again to Perafilozof City Skylines videos. In this one I'll be continuing to build up the city in which I plan to reach 1 million population on the hard mode. In the previous episodes I showed you what I was up to in the time that I didn't make any videos. Now I have to continue building up the city in the newest area. In the previous episode I made the highways and railway. I added all the necessary connections and I even had to redo the middle one because it was kinda going a bit off the side, and then I straighten it out by rebuilding it. So now this ends up with one of these areas being a little bit smaller because of the lake limiting the area where I can expand. Now it's time to actually start really to expand here because I do have a lot of demand for residential zones. Now it's even high demand because of the massive amounts of jobs available to be filled by workers. So now let's get to it. I am just not sure which side I should go first. Might be easier to go with the right side because that's where the teams will be coming from this highway connection, and this highway connection is getting rather clogged up because of all these ramps that lead to this highway, which forces the traffic to slow down as they move off. And also what's happening is that they're just using the middle lane for their attempt to go over here. They're not using the right or left lane because those have off-ramps. I'm not sure how will this impact the entire city. Probably not in a good way, and I will have to see what can be done about this. In any event, let's start with this thing here and we'll see what happens with that problem which I just saw. Well, if I start on the right side, like I said, I need to first see where the incineration plants would go and how would this even be zoned. It should be zoned like this, with the streets going from left to right, the cross streets and the highway ramps, while over here I would just have these roads leading down. I could even attempt to use these, but as you can see they would leave a lot of empty space here. I would like to get a little bit closer to the edge, although when I start going like this road seems to end up down there, so no, it needs to be placed so that it will leave about 5 squares next to the highway, and that would be about this size. So if I want to connect I would have to go like this. So what happens now if I go towards south, and it's still gonna go a little bit wider as it goes down, so probably at some point I will have to unlock the snapping tool and do it manually to move it a little bit off. So up to about here it should be fine. Later on the snapping will have to go off. The problem is probably with the hills, and it will be interesting to see how am I gonna be zoning in these hills. Okay, now that I have this road set up, I need the next, but I need a way to get that to go on 90 degrees, so I'll use one temporarily from here to here. Not sure why am I saving money when I have 50 million, but I guess it's just a force of habit. And now I get these ones that will go parallel to create all these zonable spaces, and I also need to make sure that they will connect to the previous parts of the city like that, although it could have actually gone a little bit straighter and then connected. Come on, just a little bit more and then to connect. There we go. Okay, the next. Okay, what to do with the remainder of the space? That's a good question. I guess I could get another road right here, and I would get what? Two zones? That sounds about it. Yeah. I guess it's maybe worth to put this here. For now I'll let it be here. Okay, so now we have the basic grid set up. Need to set up the incineration buildings here. Turn them all off for the moment. I never did get a connection for the water through here, so might as well do that now. Going like this. Alright, that's for the water. That was the garbage. The power should... yeah, it did just jump through here. Excellent. The buses will be able to turn around here, as they already do, as you can see here. I don't really have a stop here. Might as well give them a stop here. And they will turn about there. Now, if I do have the industry here and the incineration plants, that means a lot of pollution, so I might as well do the first zone as industry here across from the other industrial parts. So that would be going like this, and for sake of staying on the same page with these zones, this would continue going like this. A little bit of offices here. If that's the industry, after that goes the commercial. And now you probably know the routine already. 2 zones of commercial, a zone of offices, and then goes residential. I am gonna go 4x4 once. Once the buildings here are built, then I will go the next zone, so that I would have 4x4 buildings built instead of those small ones they sometimes make. Now these areas will need parks, and I should take a look at how far should they be to get good coverage in between the zones. I think about here would do the trick. Ah, that was bad placement. Verse. Don't jump so much. There we go. Better. Okay, that would do the trick. So a park there, and most likely I will need a park on the right and the left edge. It's gonna be very expensive. It might be easier to have one in here and one in here, and in between them they should provide good coverage. If then I place another park here and another park here, in between them that should be enough. I don't need 3 rows of parks, 2 will do, I think. This is still enough. Although I did use 3 in here, and it is kind of overkill. As you can see, a lot of them are very close to each other. So I'm thinking I could go a little bit cheaper in this area with the parks. But like I said, I will give that a moment while I see what's built here and add more 4x4 residential areas once they take up the already zoned ones. Excellent, so far so good. This one is again 4x4, and I can make the third one here. That's good progress. The buildings are going up. Now they will need the service coverage from health, that care, and so on. Let's see, where do I place those? I see good coverage up to here from these buildings, so apparently it would be even okay to build them here somewhere. But considering how much I need for them to level and for them to have good coverage, I might as well start up here right after the residential area. So those 2 are checked out. After that, the next service would be fire station and the police station. Excellent. In the middle, good coverage. A new bus line I will place as soon as I see where the cross street is going to be located. If these are 3 zones of residential, the next one will be offices, so that one would be going like this. Okay. Another residential area just built here. That would be the third, so the offices would go like this. And so the next one can be a road so that I can keep this connection here. I would just need to place it a little bit closer, though I don't think the police headquarters would allow this. But if I put the clinic over here and this thing then here, I can push this up a little bit into the residential area and this thing up here as well, and then I can push the road a little bit closer to the offices. Should still be able to go through here as long as I do not hit any pillars. So let's see, this is a cross street and not a highway ramp, although I would need a highway ramp to get access for the roads. Not sure which would be better served here. Let's see, I don't usually have an off-ramp this soon. What did I do in the newest area when I look at the top? Yeah, I did have a ramp very close by. Might be a good idea to have a ramp here as well. So if I am placing a ramp, then it's gonna go like this and ends up in here. So from here down into here, if it wants to listen to me. Or perhaps it won't. This should be interesting. Okay, let's add a little bit of more roads here and then try again. Nope, still won't listen. Go down. And now 89.8, 10 cells. Nothing got busted up here, everything looks okay. Can even extend this over here. And I forgot to add more residential over here. So this basically looks good, if only this thing will connect. Good, this has worked out. So just need to add a little bit more onto these streets and this should be fine. Have a ramp from left to right, no zones wasted, and now just an on ramp. It looks good to me. A little bit more offices here and then residential here. This one seems to have divided itself, 3 on this side, 3 on this side, but that's fine. I can live with that. More residential popping in right now. This is strange. People employed 173, jobs available 179. Wasn't it 150 and 170 a few minutes ago? Huh. Must have gotten a high population boost. Oh my god, 1,600 plus per week. Yeah, no wonder all the jobs have been filled. Well, excellent. I am creating new jobs, so new teams, new jobs. Everything is going well. So that would be the start of this expansion. I have noticed you guys are kind of getting bored by the gameplay being always the same, which I understand completely. Why isn't there coverage here? Oh right, because this is the first cross street and it goes from the left to the right. Once I get one going to the left, it should be a little bit better. Yeah, like I was saying, the gameplay is pretty much the same because it really has to be. I'm just doing the repeat of what I did before to try and expand, get a bigger city. Well, I'm gonna need this incineration plant on. So I will take any advice that you want to give on how to proceed. Do you want me to just give you status updates? Do you want to see gameplay only when I am actually doing something new? Would you like me to show you the newest developments of the city and not go into too much detail on the blow by blow? For example, I'm pretty sure you're bored by 4x4 this, 4x4 this, zone that. So I might as well just give you an overview of when something is a little bit different and when I'm building a new area, when I'm changing things around. Well, in any event, now you see how this is going to develop. I might even jump you to when this is filled in the next video, depending on what you tell me in the comment section after this episode. So, thank you all for watching, and please stay tuned for more.